What is going on, guys? Corrosive Bullet here, and today we are going to be going over the Black Archetype early previews and spoilers for Set 6 of Fusion World. Today is going to be talking about King Piccolo and talking about his glorious day. So, not really much to really say about this off of the face. I have seen a lot of people talking in the community about how underwhelming this deck might end up being. I am not of the same volition. I feel like that there's some value to what this guy is kind of bringing to the table, and it does kind of set apart from other black leaders too, which I'm all for. Like, yeah, he still focuses on like the marker generation stuff, but I mean, that's been black since its inception for the most part. So but yeah, let's kind of get into it. Let's kind of talk about him. And I mean, as your resident black player, like, I won't lead you guys astray. I'll tell you guys what my thoughts and feelings are for these cards. So King Piccolo as a leader, he's very interesting on his front side because he is a crit leader at 15k. There's no crit leader. All the other crit leaders are 20k. He's 15. I see there's a little bit of value here from the sense that when you're going up against a 20k leader, right? I think most people's thought process is that they didn't want to necessarily give out a card in hand, or specifically a 10k in hand to block it. So usually they would just kind of let it go. Here, I can see an argument where because it's 15k, it gives certain decks warranty to actually combo out of hand and not take the crit hit, because it's easier to combo out of. Because where a 20k leader required you to give a 10k combo or higher in order to be able to block it, this crit leader means you have to give a card regardless. It's easier to block this than it is like Beerus, for example. Now, whether people will actually do this or not, I guess we'll have to see when the meta kind of comes. We've not really experienced a crit leader that swings at face for an equal value. So we'll kind of have to see how that kind of pans out. However, the one thing that makes this guy, I think, better than other crit leaders is this. So when your life is at 4 or less, you add the top card of your deck to your life, and then you flip this card over. So you flip this card over. This guy goes from 4 life to 5 life, which basically almost means that your whole entire turn going from 5 to 4 is basically reset. And you're now an awakened leader that's able to draw when attacking. So you're getting at least an additional turn or two of value just from the draw aspect of this leader, which is more than I can say for Beerus. It's more than I can say for Zamasu. And whatnot. So I think it's kind of cool that you're basically able to get extra draws per turn before going back down to 4. Now, this kind of begs the question, like, when you get to 5 life, do you defend yourself? Do you defend yourself as much as you can? Do you kind of just take the hit to get the extra draw? Like, what is the momentum with this deck going forward? We'll kind of have to wait and see once we get the full picture of what the deck is doing. But I still think it's cool. Being able to get an extra draw or 2, maybe even 3 if they don't go for your life right away, or if you defend with your life, you're getting +3 that you normally wouldn't have with any of the other crit leaders, I think is neat. But then he's also got an activate main, where once per turn, you remove one of your energy markers and you get to play a demon egg from your drop. So that leads into what the whole archetype of this deck is kind of going for, is that you're working off of this egg. It's a 2-cost, 1 power card with 0 combo. At the end of your turn, you place this card in a battle area into the drop, and then if your leader is King Piccolo, you play up to 1 non-King Piccolo battle card with a cost of 3 or less and Demon Clan, and its special traits from your hand. So, if you're able to awaken early, which would be turn 3, right? You basically play this for 2 energy. And then at the end of your turn, you're able to play out one of Demon King's minions at the end of your turn. What's nice about this is that this only works on your turn. So having this on board, you're all like on the turn that you play it, automatically getting the effect at the end of your turn. So there's no fear of this getting minus. There's no fear of this getting bottom decked or bounce back to hand. There's no fear of this getting KO'd, which I think is a good thing. Now, I've seen a lot of people talk badly about this card. I will say, if there's one thing that I kind of wish that this whole archetype was involved with, it's that these demon eggs were more not tribute. What do they call them? Tokens. I wish these demon eggs were token cards that work the same way, rather than, because the issue that I have with this card in particular is that there is no value outside of it being in your drop or on your board. So basically, you're running this at 4 of. You have to run this card at 4 of, probably, in order to be able to see it often enough, in order to get the leader effect often enough. And I think that slows down your deck composition. I think that basically hurts the deck composition to an extent, because that's 4 cards that you are otherwise going to have to not incorporate into the deck because you have to run this card. You get no combo off of this. You have no power off this. Can't swing with it in any way. It's 2 cost, and you're not able to play this unless you combo one of these from hand from a battle card swing or a leader swing, which just feels really weird and awkward to do, to have it from back in the drop. And that's even if you have a marker to be able to play this off of your leader. So like it feels a little awkward. If this was a token, at the very least, it would allow you to add 4 cards into your deck that could benefit the deck a bit better than what this can do. But as it stands, like, this card isn't doing a whole lot for me to fully like the idea of incorporating this card into the deck. Now, that said, if you have this in your drop by the time that you are awakened and you have a marker to be able to play this, then it's just free cycling the rest of the game. You can charge your other eggs. You could charge your other eggs and basically hard cast your other Demon King minions, like, just outright, right? Like, you don't have to rely necessarily on the egg per se. But I guess that's also another argument you could have too. Like, you could just hard cast your demon Demon Clan stuff as opposed to just relying on the egg. But I guess the egg is there for specific cards. Like, you're probably only playing certain cards off this card, as opposed to not. So we'll just kind of have to see how it kind of pans out. And it really does depend on the support. The Demon Clan support is the thing that's going to make this whole thing kind of wrap itself up in a nice little bow. So why don't we take a look and see what the actual Demon Clan support is. So first off, we got Tambourine. Tambourine's a 3 cost, 20k power, 10k combo card. He's a Self-Awakener on play, and then when he is attacking, you discard 1 card from your hand, and if you don't have an energy marker, you place an energy marker. I think this is fine. There's other cards in black that do this same exact effect, except it's usually like an activate main or something. So the fact that this works off of like a swing, I think is fine too. I don't really got an issue with this. I mean, it's a 10k combo power. It's a 20k swinger. It self-awakens you. It allows you to generate a marker if you don't have a means to generate marker. Basically, turn 3 if you're not awakened yet, or if you're getting ready to awaken. Like, this guy is going to help you basically get your setup going with your leader. So I think this is pretty cool. I think this is a fine card. Then we have Drum. He's a 3 cost, 25k power, 5k combo battle card, where on play, you choose up to 1 battle card with a cost of 4 or less in your opponent's battle area, and it can't attack during your opponent's next turn. I hate it when these effects are on play, because it's heavily situational. Are you ever really playing this if there's not a 4 cost or less on board at the time? Now, in the mirror, I think this card will actually be really good in the mirror, because black really does just kind of like flex in the with mid-game cards or mid-range cards. So black, I don't think is really going to be an issue. Yet certain yellow decks don't really play anything higher than 5 costs. Green, green might be the only, like, the hard issue that this deck might have, or at least this kind of card would have, just because the new Broly exists. Blue can vary, and blue can vary and red can vary depending on what type of deck you're playing. So this effect, I think, is a little middling, but there is use for it. There is utility with this. Are you playing this? Are you hard casting this guy, or are you playing this off egg? I'm thinking you're probably playing this off egg more times than not than hard casting. You're probably hard casting your Self-Awakeners and your coin generating cards. And then cards like this, you're probably playing off of the egg, right? And then you got Symbol here as well. He's a 3 cost, 20k power, 0 combo. On play, he's a Self-Awakener, and then he draws you a card. This guy, I think, you're probably playing, like, to Self-Awaken more times than not. I don't understand. I mean, I guess this is double draw. So I guess in Bandai's eyes, giving it 0 combo justifies it. I would say it needs a 5k, but because I mean, you're already running this. You're already running 4 of this. You're probably running 3 or 4 of this, right? So that's already 8. And then we have our SR for the deck, which is also a 0 combo cost. So like that's already 11 to 12 0 combos in this deck that it just feels a little, I don't want to say slow, but it's like you're not going to be able to be as defensive as you want to be. I don't know. I think for what this guy is doing, I think it's fine. If you're playing in the early game when you're trying to self-awaken, being able to self-awaken 1, and then you're basically drawing, which basically more than makes up for what the lack of draw that King Piccolo has on his unawakened side. So I think that's cool, at least. But yeah, I feel like this could have had at least a 5k combo. I don't know. But now let's go to the SRs for the deck, because obviously like the SRs are going to kind of give us an idea of how this deck kind of runs. So first we got King Piccolo SR, 4 cost, 30k power, 0 combo. He has a permanent skill where if you have a non-King Piccolo battle card with Demon Clan in its special traits in your battle area, this card in a battle area gets 20,000 power. Then when attacking, if you don't have an energy marker, you place 1 energy marker. This guy's basically an SR version of the secret rare in black, which I think is really good. What makes this guy interesting is that he becomes a 50k swinger permanently if you have a Demon Clan card on the board that's not King Piccolo. In this deck, I think that's relatively easy to accomplish. Just due to the fact that you're able to spawn these guys at the end of your turn from the eggs. You can hard cast a couple before you play this guy, so your other Demon Clan stuff should be able to linger and stick around longer, or around for at least a turn, to have at least 1 on board. But yeah, 50k swinger is nuts. 50k swinger for 4 is crazy, and it's a permanent skill. Like, this is an ability. This is a card where like you have to get rid of this card, because otherwise you're taking 50k swings every single turn. And what's interesting too is that it's a permanent skill and not on your turn. So this guy, as long as you have a Demon Clan on your board that's not King Piccolo, like this guy is permanently 50k even on your opponent's turn, which means your opponent's not going to be able to really get rid of this. It's going to be a hard card to minus down in red. Blue can probably bottom deck this or bounce it back to hand with relative ease, which is fine, because, I mean, obviously a card like this probably needs some semblance of balancing. He can be KO'd in green. He can also be ramped in green as well. Yellow can freeze this down and have it not really be an issue. Can also remove it with the secret rare Frieza. So, I mean, there's means of getting around this, but it's not like certain matchups, this card's going to be a menace, and you kind of have to like focus on removing cards like this. So, this is a cool card. I like this card. Then we get into just some generic black stuff that's not necessarily dependent on the Demon Clan tag. So we got Gogeta, 6 cost, 40k power, 0 combo. He's got a permanent skill where your opponent's cards cannot be switched to active mode by skills. And then on play, choose up to 1 battle card in your opponent's battle area and place it in the drop. Then if you don't have an energy marker, you place an energy marker. This is the kind of support that generic black needed. Let's kind of break this down little by little. So it's the first 6 cost card in black, which every other color already kind of had to an extent. So I think, this is going to help black when it comes to like Secret Rare Frieza. This is going to help going into the blue matchup, where all your stuff basically gets bottom decked, because most of your stuff you're running is 4 costs, with the occasional 5 costs being played. This guy circumvents a lot of the bottom decking aspect in blue, which is good. And 40k power is that's a big heavy swing. This is something that this is something that is just really, really strong. Like, it's a really strong card for black. Let's talk about his skills though. So his permanent, your opponent's cards can't be switched to active mode by skills. This effect is nasty. It's a nasty effect for black. So just to make the clarification, because I've already seen a lot of discourse online about how, like, or not discourse, but like a lot of discussion about like how this actually works. So when it comes to your opponent's turn, when it's the start of their turn, their leader is still going to be able to go into active. Your energy is still going to be able to go into active at the start of your turn. Like that's standard rules of play. That's game rules in terms of what those are doing at the beginning of your turn. What it's saying by can't be switched to active mode by skills is it's referring to Super Bill, like Super Bill. Can't go back to active off of KOing a like the Babidi, right? Janemba, the Bio Broly cannot reactivate energy because of its skills. Yellow Vegeta can't reactivate energy at the end of his turn because that's a skill. Like stuff like that is what stuff like that is the things that are affected by this. So with this card simply existing, like black has a much better matchup into yellow going into the next set, which I think is really cool. How this will look going further into the game, we'll kind of have to wait and see, but I think this is still pretty cool. And then his on-play effect, he's generating a marker if you don't have one, which is good. And then he's got the Secret Rare Frieza effect where you place something into the drop, completely circumnavigating the a lot of the non-KO effects that cards have. The new Broly, the new 8-cost Broly card cannot be KO'd, has to be KO'd twice in order to die. So this card basically gets around that completely, which is nice. There's some balancing with that. So I think that's cool. This is a much needed card in black, in my opinion. Then we have Chi-Chi Childhood. 1 cost, 5k power, 10k combo. Self-Awakener on play. And then as an auto effect, where when this card is used in a combo from the battle area, use up to 1 battle card with in a combo from your drop. I see this. You could run this in Demon King Piccolo, and I think you'd be fine. It's extra combo power, which I think the deck is desperately going to need. But when I look at this, and I think baby. I think baby. Like, if you have Trunks on board, and you have this on board with Trunks, she's protected from being removed because of Trunks being on board. And then Baby already has a crazy, like, deck in the semblance of being able to combo your rest mode battle cards. It's already got some really good extra cards that's able to, like, block attacks. So you're comboing from hand, you're comboing from your field. And with this card in Baby, you can now combo from your drop, which means that you're preserving the cards in your hand as well. Plus, she's 10k combo. It's just crazy. What's cool about this is that you could grab super combos from your drop and use that in a combo. You're not getting the super combo, like, you're not getting an actual super combo off it because super combos give you an extra 10 from hand. But it basically, with Chi-Chi, it basically makes it a super combo. You combo her to combo a 10 cost from drop, and then that's 20,000 power. Like, it's basically a backup. It's basically a backup super combo, which I think is pretty cool. No, I think this card's pretty good. I think it's pretty awesome, like the tech that it's doing. I think it'll be used more in decks like Baby than Demon King Piccolo, but Demon King Piccolo will get some use out of this. It'll definitely help him. And then to wrap this video up, because I'm already going a little longer than I wanted to, we got Piccolo Day. It's a 1-cost card. Activate main if your leader is King Piccolo. Reveal the top card of your opponent's deck. Then choose up to 1 card in your opponent's battle area with a cost less than or equal to the revealed card and place it in the owner's drop. This card's a little cheeky. It's basically, I look at it as like there's the green Scouter card, right? And the Scouter card kind of plays off of your opponent's hand, whereas this plays off of the deck. This is a much wider range for you to be able to proc the effect off with this card, which I think is pretty cool. And like, there's something funny about it where, like, if say you're playing a red deck and they have the secret rare on board, and you look at the top card of their deck and it's a super combo, and you just bottom deck their secret rare for 1 energy, basically. Like, there's something funny about this card. I feel like a lot of people will get a little irked when it actually, like, procs off, but I think I think this is we'll have to see what this card is like, how it's kind of played. how many you're probably running this in the deck, because I don't see you doing this all the time, because it's also the fact that it's like, okay, well, what if they have like 3 costs and 4 costs on their board and I find a cantrip? Well, then this card, I wasted an energy for nothing, basically. Like that's the kind of thing that like worries me with this kind of card. Like, it's completely random, and I love randomness in my card games to an extent. So seeing like this, like, I think it's fun. I think it's a lot of fun. But you guys let me know what you guys think down in the comments down below. What do you guys think of the Demon King Piccolo deck? Are you guys underwhelmed by it? Do you think that this guy's going to be fun? Are you guys excited at all? Let me know down in the comments below. Regardless of what you guys think, regardless of what I think, regardless of what the community thinks, I am your resident black player, so like I will be playing this deck and checking this deck out when it when it does drop in the client, and we're gonna do some testing for it too. So be sure to look out for that here on the YouTube when we do our live streams for the testing. Check us out on twitch.tv/corrosivebullet. And yeah, like and subscribe for more Fusion World videos, and I will see you guys all in the next one. Peace.